You heard? Because hip hop can be very volatile. And as my brother Planet Asia said, it's one of the most condescending art forms. So much condescension. And you could be talking about somebody in their face, you heard? But because it's art, you heard, you can't respond.
I think
because
stand-up is very, I don't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry, but it's,
thing, huh?
It's because people think that there's one spot, whether it's with rap or comedy. It's like they think it's that the one person on stage.
Yeah.
So then they, because like to me, rappers are way nicer to me than comedians are. Because like they think we're going for the same thing, even though we're not.
Yeah.
But it could like rap. It's fun, like they think they're going for the same thing, but
right.
Who gives? There's not one single spot that everyone's vying for.
Right. So I say, just to broaden the discussion and to add more to it, is there, what are we looking for solutions? Are we looking for problems? Because I'm not looking for problems if I don't have no solutions to solve it. And that's what I be thinking the rap be. It be a constantly finding problems, but not having the wisdom enough to put at the last bar, you heard? The last stanza, the last aspect to solve the problem of the quandary that the artist has said there was in the beginning, you heard? So if you look at the things that the rappers say they against and that they don't fuck with, you heard? The very things that they say that they against and that they don't fuck with, if they was really taking into consideration what the social pressure of what created the environment for them to even be rapping like that about volatility is, the very things that you don't like emanate and are born from the hopelessness created by the culture. So one of the examples that I say is this: what type of child do you think will grow up in an environment where they selling, and I see this, they selling crack and doing selling crack, the crackheads is fucking on the roof. You come outside your building and they pumping crack in your hallway and your grandmama got to go to the store. So crackheads is coming to the building and sometimes they don't have money and they be done robbed your grandmother, but you got to be a real nigga, you heard? And walk past the depravity each day and then become a part of it, to not change it, but just to have a say in the continuous depravity that creates the hopelessness in the very things that you don't like. So all crimes that humans commit are crimes of poverty. Every single one. Every single crime that you can imagine, from the most absurd to the most insidious, you heard, all have a connection to poverty. Somebody feeling as though that they don't, you heard? So what interesting thing about music is that it's always been here and it's always been used as an instrument, a cultural instrument with tinges of sorcery to, I use sorcery in a very holistic way, dealing with ritual. It's the human's ritualistic desire to join or connect itself to the universal narrative, the universal sound of growth and development, love, appreciation, you heard? Honor, remembrance. The greatest musicians, that's why we know the nicest rappers is the ones that go in the booth and he ain't writing shit down. He's putting that shit together mentally, you heard? Big do it. Conway do it. A lot of people do it. I want to say I seen Rome do it. You heard? I know Aaron can do it. You heard? They start formulating Hove. You know what I'm saying?
You go into the flow state.
Yeah, bro. If that's not the most genius tool of human experiences and the ability to recall words that have emotional sentimentality, girded by no barrier, no fear. You know how much fear it requires. That's when people, fear of performance and all that stuff. They be like this. You fuck around and be thinking about something that don't have nothing to do with the performance and fuck your whole shit off. So you know how ill these dudes' minds are quantumly, that they can control the outcome of the next unfolding minute narratively through the listener. So when you leave these dudes' concerts, I'll be like, shit, that was a fucking spiritual experience. You dig what I'm saying?
I told that to Rome when I saw him. I went to his show, a Trippin' Balls, and I said it was a spiritual.
In New York?
It was what that before I went to that one tripping when we were together, the Flea Lord, and then the one in Boston. But I said
shout out to both of them, Flea Lord and Rome. Word is
it was a spiritual experience.
Yes, sir.
But you say things and the way you speak and the way that knowledge flows from you go into those flow states. And you even said before that you try to decipher knowledge that you say.
Yeah, after the fact.
Where do you think those ideas come from then, that flow state? Because you do, I don't want to speak for you, but don't you think you have a tap in to a knowledge that many don't?
I do. I think it comes from my parents. My mother nurtured an environment around me that put more emphasis on my intellect than I found this to be when I was growing up in the street trying to find myself early on in the street. I found it to be a barrier in a world that needs proof physically, you heard, as opposed to mental, because you could get hated for being too intelligent. So I had to learn a fortitude where I was not afraid to be intelligent. It was a time where I was trying to turn intelligence off to be down with stupid niggas, bro. And then I guess my Scorpio shit's so petty that I can't do it. You heard? I'm so petty that I actually can't act as if. You heard? I can't. After a while, it'll make me I start fucking hating myself, bro, for acting stupid around some stupid shit. You heard? And I can't have no niggas acting around me like they smarter than me, and you really not. You heard? That shit is the worst shit to me. I swear to God, I start bugging. I'll be like, whoa. So then you mean that you is tough. So you think being tough is intelligent. Well, let me tell you something. Tough guys ain't make no gun. An engineer made a gun. You heard? Who was calculated. You heard? Who knew how to put a fucking carbines and shit like this. Who the fuck made up the millimeters and all that? This is this millimeter, that millimeter. A tough guy? No, a fucking scientist who had the intent of using engineering to create shit that could propel out of a fucking object that you could fit in your hand, that could pierce through the flesh and go through. They got guns that could go through schools. You heard? Feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm like this. What did that? Emotional irrationality? You heard? Who created that shit? Huh? A fucking genius. You heard? So maybe they scared the wrong person. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm like this. I don't like to be afraid because it's not good for other people. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you scare me, I'm fucking brilliant. You heard? I'm going to figure some shit out. You heard? I swear to God. I swear to God. Yo, I'm stupid. Promise you. Don't scare me. You heard? Yeah. Don't tell me you know gangster. You heard? Because now I'm afraid. You feel me? And then
when shit's real, you don't need to say it.
Man, right. Right. Who does that? You know what I mean? Who does that?